hello, everybody. Welcome once again. We are here to help Gordon Dill with consumer expert Diane Lee. We got a lot of good stuff today, and we're going to start with something that is, boy, kind of freaky to think about. The idea, Diane, that hackers are, without our knowledge, using us to hack other people.
Yeah, so many of our products nowadays are connected to the internet. It's called the Internet of Things. And many of them can have vulnerabilities that can really put us at risk. We're talking about, again, botnets. So here's what you should know.
What's worse than getting hacked? How about having no clue that you're a breach victim? I'm 7 News consumer anchor Diane Lee with more on a growing problem, how our connected devices can be hijacked to form malicious networks called botnets. From your front stoop to your hallway, kitchen, and living room, the Internet of Things is constantly connected, and any vulnerability can put you at risk. Sometimes it's obvious.
A virus was uploaded into my computer. It was so insidious that it wouldn't let me download the upgrades to my antivirus software so that I could kill it.
I went to the bank and said, we think we've been hacked, and so they gave us a new checking account.
My device was hacked because there wasn't any activity that was normal. And every time I got rid of ads, they kept popping up.
Still, what's becoming more and more common is a type of hack designed to fly under the radar. It connects infected devices, including smart products in homes, creating a network called a botnet. Computer science expert Dr. Rebecca Drucker at Furman University says targets rarely know they've been hacked.
Even if your devices don't have anything on them that you wouldn't want the hacker to know, even if it's something like, oh, my smart plugs or my smart fridge, what are they possibly going to find out about me? They want those small computers so that they can do their nefarious tasks.
Why? Botnets help hackers disguise their origin. They can launch ransom attacks that take down sites by overloading web traffic, send out spam email, even mine cryptocurrency.
The more computers they have working on these problems, doing this cryptocurrency mining, the more cryptocurrency they're sending to their own wallet.
And they don't have to pay a dime because it's on your electrical system.
Exactly. They're basically turning your electricity and your compute into money for themselves.
For businesses, the stakes can get much higher. David Hyde-Volpe's cybersecurity firm Visius Group discovered hidden virtual servers on a new client's network and learned they connected to dozens of other companies.
There were 150 companies that had been compromised in this op in one day. And by 150 companies, I don't mean sort of like a random employee at 150 companies. I mean, they had either the CEO, a board member, controller, CFO, someone with signing power at 150 companies.
Those people were compromised.
Yeah, and the bad guys were using our new clients' infrastructure as their infrastructure.
And so they were moving money.
Yeah, lots of money. Usually about $500,000 per company.
Volpe says they were able to shut down the botnet operation and reported it to the FBI. When it comes to your home network, protecting your router is the main line of defense. If you notice a slowdown, you can use the internet provider's app to see what devices are connected to your network. Some simple steps can help you avoid becoming a target. Use a firewall with your router, keep updates current, and create different Wi-Fi networks at home, from personal to guest, even a separate one for your connected appliances. Whatever you do, create a strong, unique password for your router. And if there's anything to learn from hack victims,
I had to buy a new computer, so I lost all my files.
It's to back up your important devices in case you ever need to get rid of hackers through a factory reset. Last year, an international law enforcement coalition coordinated the largest ever global botnet takedown. And this year, Operation Endgame 2.0 continued those efforts, in total taking down more than 400 servers and nearly 3,000 domains worldwide, leading to 20 arrests.
Let me just say, first of all, Diane, I will be the last person on earth to have a smart refrigerator. I don't get it. I don't understand the appeal of it.
My friend just got one. I was like, wow, let me check this out. But yeah, I'm with you, Gordon. Even though my fridge, well, just conked out on us, I'm still gonna, decline.
Yeah, I don't need advertising at the fridge. So let's start with what my responsibilities are. If I have a home network, you gave us some good advice, including, firewall protection and other measures we can take to protect ourselves. But do I have do I have a responsibility to protect my network so it does not become part of this scam network?
Yes, absolutely. I really want to encourage people to take this seriously. And I will share a personal story just to hit this home, that my own Wi-Fi at home, the router system was hacked. And we didn't really know what was going on. It's just slowed down. And, could it just be the Netflix was slow? Well, truly over a period, we really, really realized that it was so slow that this was odd. And so we went onto the app and we looked and we saw that there were 140 devices connected to it.
Yeah. 140.
We don't have
That's
140
not just your
devices.
neighbors.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, granted, that it does record history, right? So it could be people who have entered our house, might have connected, but we would have had to give them the passwords. We realized that really was very unlikely. There's something going on. It's currently slow and there's something going on. So we completely did a factory reset. So I just want people to take this seriously, that you may not totally see the warning signs. I mean, it may be a slowdown. It may not be a slowdown. On other products, you wouldn't see a slowdown at all, like if you have a thermostat that's connected to the internet or a refrigerator or anything like that.
Cold.
Yeah, exactly. So usually you wouldn't really detect much of anything, but you want to get apps like that connect to your router, at least. That's the most important one, of course, where you're constantly looking at that and recognizing what's connected, what's not, and make sure you have a very, very strong, unique password for a situation like that.
So let's get into that then. In your case, did you have the factory password? How did somebody get that much access to you?
We really don't know. I do know that I was part of that AT&T hack. I'm not necessarily connecting it, but they have a lot of my information, right? And so I'm not a hacker, so I don't exactly know like how little, how much they need, but I'm just saying that it is really possible. They don't have to do the drive-by situation anymore where you kind of connect to someone's Wi-Fi as you're driving by. They can hack remotely, and any vulnerability that they see, if they have a little bit of information on you, they might be able to get into. So who knows exactly how it is? It's just that it's happening time and again, and people really do need to be aware. And there are these tools that you can just have right on your phone to at least give you a fighting chance to understand when something's wrong.
And I do know, we've talked briefly about AI on this show before. In the world of AI, that hacking is going to become much more sophisticated.
Yeah.
AI is good at hacking. It's good at writing code. So the danger is only going to grow for this kind of thing.
Definitely. And here's the reason, because it's so lucrative for these scammers. Again, you saw some of the reasons why the hackers would do this. They're not trying to tap into, hey, what's Diane Lee doing right now necessarily. They're just using the devices and grouping all these different devices together to form this giant network where they can launch larger attacks. And so those attacks, as I stated, are things like cryptocurrency mining, right? That takes a lot of energy. So if you don't have to pay for that, if you can link this phone with that phone and this router with that router, then you're getting all that done and you don't have to pay a dime. And then there's other things that they can launch bigger attacks, for instance, spam or scam emails.
Phishing scams, the whole deal.
You can't track those back very easily at all. Really, you can't. So that's very important for scammers who don't want to be caught to do it that way.
Sure. I wonder, in terms of that, in terms of liability, you had the computer security expert in your report who said he had a client who had 140 different companies had been targeted from this innocent third party's router or their network. Is there a responsibility? I mean, if the FBI investigates and they track it back and they say, hey, actually, this is all coming from Diane Lee's house, all these phishing scams. Are you in any way susceptible to some sort of liability for not protecting yourself from
I would
this?
think what would have been found in this situation, and by the way, the FBI was informed in this situation, would not be necessarily like blaming the company for not having recognized this. And that company did end up hiring Visius Group because they knew that they needed to improve their IT system, and Visius Group found it. I think what is more important, the message here for companies as well as individuals, is that you need to be on top of this because it's happening. And very interesting, I didn't have time to tell this part in the story, Gordon, but when it came to these companies, the way that these hackers got in is likely they blanketed 10,000 companies with the spam emails. But they were specifically targeting the top echelon at the company. So we're talking people with the power to sign off on monetary things. So CEO, CFO, those kind of things. And they targeted those. And of those 150 companies that were broken into or hacked into, those were the ones where the top echelon actually did fall for whatever smishing or phishing email had come in or text. And they did release information that allowed them to then have somebody else act as that CEO, and they had all the information they needed
that's how they
and
steal.
approve things. Exactly.
But see, that's where we're protected. We have no authority to spend any money at our company whatsoever.
Exactly.
We're totally safe from that.
There you
All right,
go.
you did ask us to call up this website. So tell me what we're looking at here.
So this is interesting. So for people who aren't aware, there are these good actors too, right? That are trying to track down the bad actors. And Spam House, which is the website we're looking at, Spam House Project, if you scroll down, they do talk about this this fight. So Operation Endgame, let's stop there for a minute. Okay. This talks more about what was happening in 2024, but you can see the International Law Enforcement Coalition coordinated the largest ever global botnet takedown, it says. What's interesting to note is just in that year alone, they seized over 100 servers and blocked more than 2,000 domains. And so if you scroll down a little bit more, they seized 69 million euros in cryptocurrency from one suspect obtained through criminal activities, more than 10,000 infected computer systems. And that was just in 1 year. They actually, the next year in 2025, they ended up getting much more. So there are these good actors who are trying to catch these botnets, but they really are. If you continue to scroll down, you'll see they're global, right? They come from all different countries that can be host to these botnets. So
I always assume a lot of these bad actors, frankly, are foreign entities. Sometimes they're state actors. Sometimes they're China-sponsored, Russia-sponsored state actors that are doing these hacking networks. So it is something that's kind of difficult to protect yourself against. But I guess you have given us a couple of tools with the firewalls and the sophisticated password to your router. Don't just use the one that came with AT&T or whatever else.
Definitely. And we've mentioned this one before, but I just think it's important to reiterate that when you have your Wi-Fi router and you have your specific password, don't give that out to anyone else. It's so easy to create a guest network on your home router. Doesn't cost you anything more. And you can give any guests that come into the house that want to use your Wi-Fi a completely different password. And one more thing, because again, there's all these Internet of things that are connected to the internet, like your Ring camera and all the examples that are showing up
there
here.
right now, yeah.
Right, that you don't need those to be on your main network. They shouldn't be on the most private one, the one where you use your computer and your cell phone. They should be on a third one, not even the guest one. Create a third one for the Internet of Things, because what the experts told me is that by the very nature of those products, the main objective for retailers with those products is to make them great products, and they're focused more on just the usability. But when it comes to the safety, they that might be a secondary thing, and so they may not have that in the bag as much.
Security is your problem on the back end, I guess. Yeah, and that, frankly, there's no reason for anybody to have the password to your refrigerator. I can't imagine why that makes sense. You know what? In fact, you got email addresses below our names on this broadcast. If you have a smart fridge and think it's a great idea, email me and tell me why that's a good idea.
You're going to get a lot of emails.
You think so?
My friend's going to email you.
I would love to know what the deal is.
Okay, here's
the
thing. She's cooking. She's cooking, and she can watch TV right there. It's like right on there, So, or she can program the fridge to tell her when the broccoli is getting old.
Okay, I guess.
Pretty good. I mean, a lot of my veggies go bad, but I'm still not doing it,
I don't get it.
Not right now.
All right, but maybe if
maybe in the future.
Rotting broccoli is the way to go. All right, that is one way to protect yourself from bad actors who could be anywhere on earth trying to get into your home and make you part unknowingly of their criminal conspiracy. This is great advice. Diane, thank you, our consumer expert. I'm Gordon Dill. We're back with more great ways to help you in just a quick moment after this break. Welcome back. Gordon Dill, consumer expert Diane Lee. We are here to help. And, at least when we're recording this, Diane, I'm not 100% sure when all these things actually air on the Plus channel, but when we're recording this, we are nearing the end of the year, nearing that time when it is maybe time to make a couple of strategies and plans going into the new year.
Right. And it is so important to take this time to reassess your finances and make sure you make some smart money moves before the new year rings.
If time is money, these last few weeks before the new year can truly make a difference on your wallet. I'm 7 News consumer anchor Diane Lee, and in this exclusive, I'm looking to save you money with expert advice on smart money moves to make this time of year. The connection between time and money has never been more true than during the last few weeks of the year.
You can't have more going out than you have going in.
Jason Davis in Spartanburg, a father of 2, evaluates holiday spending before those gifts are wrapped. The goal? Start the new year in the black.
My wife and I both have looked at kind of whittling things down, kind of trimming the fat, so to speak.
Davis says his banking app has made it easy.
My banking app is awesome, and it breaks down my expenses between like entertainment and gas and groceries.
A smart tool all year long. Certified financial planner Beth Jeter Rubala points to another wise money move that's ideal this time of year.
This is one of my favorite things. It's like a jigsaw puzzle. So we do this at the end of every year. And basically, we're harvesting tax losses. And what that means is we're essentially matching any gains with losses.
So check your portfolio. Selling those losses could offset gains or even your income taxes up to $3,000 a year. Another smart money move that can lower your taxes is to increase your 401k contribution. With one paycheck left, you have to act fast.
Most tax deductions, if you want a deduction, you've got to write a check, give it to somebody else, so it's money out of your pocket. But a retirement plan is the one thing that you can write a check for or put money into, and you're not having to give it to somebody else.
This is also a good time of year to see what's in your personal vault, so to speak, and make sure your savings account is earning the highest interest. Kathy Hodges makes sure her savings interest rate is earning at least 4%.
Let your money make money. I mean, that's the easiest way to, instead of going out and working harder, take what you already have and make it work for you.
As for more year-end moves, if you have kids, contribute to a college savings plan to get state tax deductions. And check out other purchases with tax advantages like electric vehicles and some home energy saving products. What would you say is the most important thing people can do to get themselves on strong financial footing in the new year?
I have 2 things. First is look at your spending from the past year and see where you've spent your money. My next point is I think the biggest regret we see from our older clients who are in retirement is they wish they had started sooner.
That's because contributing to retirement accounts early means that money will compound, growing much faster than if you try to play catch-up later in life. Davis is working towards the recommended annual contribution of 15% of your salary. But as for budgeting, he's got that one in the bag.
It's not about how much money you make, it's about what you do with it.
I love
My mama taught me that.
Your mom's a good person.
Thanks.
Now, as we head into the new year, it's also a good time to re-examine your will, as well as all your beneficiaries listed in your retirement accounts, and make sure everything is up to date.
Oh, I think I do need to start a will. I'm probably a little late on that one, Diane. Can we start with 401k or retirement plans, or maybe you have an IRA, a Roth, or something like that? There's like a rite of passage here at the station where we work when we hire new 24-year-olds where I argue with them, I berate them, start your 401k now and put in at least this much money now. Future you will be grateful. Tell us about the 401k benefits.
It's so true. So at least you want to check what your company matches if they offer a 401k, because you're just throwing money away. If you don't use that and put in the amount to at least to obtain that match, then you're basically throwing money in the waste can. So that is very important. But really also starting early is so key. It's that whole concept of compounding interest.
You know what? We got a calculator.
We
for that.
do. This is fun. So this is great that we have this, because the people who might not be super familiar with compounding interest, these kind of online calculators are really helpful. Let's do a little example here. So let's say you have an initial investment. We'll just keep it easy. Let's just do $0 for the initial investment.
Got it.
We're just going to do a monthly contribution of $50.
$50.
Yeah,
okay.
$50. And let's do length of years as, let's do 10 years.
10 years, okay.
Estimated interest rate, usually if you're investing in 401k, let's say 7%.
Ooh, boy, you have a great 401k. Okay.
So, yeah. And actually, typically the 401ks lately have been doing like 8, 9, but also could go down to 5. So we won't do any interest rate variance. Let's just keep it at 7 for right now. And then let's go down and press calculate.
Okay, there we go.
All right, so you've got 8,000, but this is what's important. So over 10 years, you got $50 a month and you get into 8,000. Your principal that you put in is this more green line. So that's the original $50 investment. But then you see the red line there. That is where you start to, and you see it starts to curve a little bit more. If we change that $50 a month to 100, you're going to see even more of a curve. In fact, Gordon, let's do a little test. Let's change the 50 to 100, and I want to show you the difference in that curve. So $100 a month now you're adding, if you can.
Oh, recalculate.
Recalculate. Okay.
Yeah, look at that.
So now you're seeing that rise so much more. And what that means is that the red line and the green line are pretty similar for the first couple of years. So basically the principal you're putting in, you're earning a little interest. But then by year 4 or 5, it starts to separate, and it separates dramatically by year 10. And that'll just keep going. So Gordon, if you're 24 years old and you start investing $50 or $100 a month if you can, then by the time you reach that 10-year mark, you're only 34 years old. You're still really far away from retirement. Can you imagine by the time you reach 64 how much further those lines will be apart?
Let's do this. So let's say that we're doing it for 30 years while we work here at this TV station, and look at that.
Yeah. And do you see, again, that's where you can really see the curvature of the line. And what that means, that's sort of the essence of compounding interest. So basically it means that as you have more money, more gets reinvested, and then you're making more. So
you're collecting interest on your interest.
Exactly. So interesting fact, and a lot of people don't realize this, but many of us have heard of Warren Buffett. He is amazing at investing money. He is obviously a multi-billionaire, but his main amount of money that he has made, where he's just done an extraordinary amount of making money, has been in the last few years, because he had so much to begin with, that he, in essence, jumped billions and billions of dollars in the last few years just because he already had so much invested.
This is, I mean, just the raw numbers here, Diane. You've saved $36,000, but because of the magic of compound interest, you have multiples of that in your bank account, over $113,000. So this is, again, why I yell at new employees.
Right, and the key is,
I don't want to put away 50 bucks.
Said,
please do it.
It's the starting early. It's the starting early. And this is also, and I jumped to one other factor here. This is also for like new parents. This is why that beginning, if you can, and I know it's hard because you have a lot of expenditures, but saving for the 529 or any college savings plan, beginning young, that makes all the difference in really being able to achieve the types of money that you might need to pay for college.
And the other reason that I know you mentioned this in a tax story is because these retirement plans, for instance, our 401k here at work, those are pre-tax contributions. You are not paying income tax. And what it does is, at the end of the year, when your income is taxed, that money is taken off the top. If you earn $50,000, you put $5,000 of that into this 401k, which, by the way, now you're saving 10%. But if you put $5,000, now your income for the year is lowered to $45,000 a year, and you're not paying tax on that, at least not until you start withdrawing from your 401k when your income is probably reduced.
Exactly. And what that means is when you're not paying taxes on that, that can affect your tax bracket in a good way, potentially. So you're paying less in taxes. And, that can be very helpful. That's why we look at it right before the new year. The other thing that we want to look at before the new year is if you do have some investments and they haven't done well, we're not really talking 401ks here because that kind of stuff isn't taken out yet. But if you have investments outside of that and they're not doing well and you would like to sell those and you're taking a loss, right? So you're not taking anything out of your 401k, hopefully until you're, 65.
Right, please.
But let's say you have some outside investments and they're not doing well and you want to sell those. It's good to do those towards the end of the year. That way you can calculate exactly how much you should sell in order to take some tax benefits where you can offset your losses.
To offset the taxes you pay on the gains.
Exactly,
with the
on
losses.
any gains, exactly.
And
that can include just your income. too.
Sure.
So you don't necessarily have to sell some of the stock that you've made money on. You can just sell some of the stock you've lost money on, and you can offset some of your gains from your income.
And finally, the fellow you had who's got his banking app for him, helping him budget, which, by the way, great app for his bank. I don't know. Do you want to say which bank he uses? The app is that good?
Actually, I'm not going to favor one bank because pretty much all the banks nowadays are offering these terrific apps that help you keep track. So I would just say call your own bank and check with them because it's a really great way to keep budgeting there.
And so the advice we're getting from him sounds like it's just budgeting, year-end budgeting.
Yeah.
So we roll into the new year and somewhat better, which easier said than done as we get to Christmas, especially with kids.
Yes.
But budgeting the key here.
Absolutely. And that's why, and around this time, it really is so important to discuss because we're rolling into that Christmas season. People are buying their gifts and sticking to that budget right now is so important. You don't want to get that sticker shock when you open it. I know.
Good luck. Do you stick to a budget at Christmas?
You know, I do.
Oh,
I actually do.
okay.
I keep notes on my phone and I know exactly how much I want to spend on each child. And I Black Friday it up. I just try to get those best prices, And this time around, it's not like just Black Friday. Obviously, we've got like a whole week,
Cyber
and then
Monday and all
even
that
more.
business.
Right. But I think I do try to stick to that as much as possible. I'm not saying we haven't gone over, but
That's what makes you the consumer expert. Diane Lee, Gordon Dill with you. We are always here to help. We'll join you again with a brand new episode when you come back to us next time.